All right. I'll be there in a minute. The noise stops. I yawn and stretch, and then notice the pongo on the floor. What are you doing on the floor, buddy? Weren't you sleeping on the bed? The pongo wiggles and shoots me an accusatory look. What does that even mean? I glance at the slight indentation on my pillow and back at the blue mass on the floor. Sorry, I didn't mean to knock you off. He looks cautiously at me, then hops onto the bed and up onto my head. Okay, it sounds like he's forgiven me at least. He nips at my hair and then jiggles. I guess that means he's forgiven me. Good, I don't think I could stand the pongo being mad at me for all too long. I push myself to my feet and begin getting dressed. Once I've grabbed all of my things, I push open the door and nearly collide with Leanna. Again. Whoa!
Are you ready to go?
Now I am. Yeah. Leanna nods, then leads the way out of the inn, because I'm incapable of finding the exit. I follow her through the streets as we head north. It's a lot quieter than when we first arrived as the town gradually begins to wake up. We don't run into too many people on the street. Although the shops aren't open yet, I can see the shopkeepers busy prepping for the day. It's a beautiful town. I know I said that already, but still, it's very beautiful. Right before we reach the edge of town, a guard stops us.
There's been heightened bandit activity reported on these roads.
Leanna's brows crease.
Are the roads closed?
No, but until we get a handle on the bandit activity, we're advising everyone to stay in town.
But you're not saying I have to stay in town.
We can't stay.
Where are you headed?
We're headed to Illumia.
The guard notices the sigil on Leanna's manipulator.
You're a mage knight?
She nods. As the guard turns his focus to me, I draw attention to the blade on my hip. He's like, yeah, take a look at this. I can handle myself, maybe. He nods gruffly, then moves out of the way.
Just be careful out there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
She motions for me to follow her. Once we're back on the familiar dirt path, I take one last look at Meadowhill Village before refocusing on the road ahead of me. Our trek along the path is peaceful. The forest gradually awakens with birdsong and the scuttling of woodland animals. Having grown up in the city, the sounds of nature still startle me and I glance at every rustle of the leaves, because I'm a scared little city boy. Leanna, though, seems unfazed. Her eyes routinely survey her surroundings, constantly on the lookout for danger. Suddenly, she freezes. I nearly bump into her. What the...
Shh.
What happened? I fall silent as she listens. When she speaks, her voice is a whisper.
Did you hear that?
If I say no, will you judge me? I strain my ears, listening for anything out of place. Then I hear the voices among the trees. Bandits? A strangled scream pierces the air, scaring a flock of birds into flight.
Someone might be in danger.
Her previous caution abandoned, Leanna sprints towards the sound and I follow at her heels. We both take cover as the trees open up, revealing a man in a trench coat surrounded by 5 bandits. One more bandit lies motionless on the ground. Upon seeing their fallen comrade, the bandits all unsheath their weapons. 3 of them hold longswords and 2 of them point guns. That's not a good thing. The trench-coated man doesn't stir. His dark hair falls over his eyes and I can't see his face.
You won't get away from us this time.
I think he just took down one of your buddies. I would be a little more afraid.
Take him out.
The man pushes open his coat and draws 2 guns as the bandits converge. Leanna sets her jaw.
Stay here.
But I don't... Okay. As soon as the words fall from her lips, she races out from the trees. Her hair whips behind her and her white coattails billow in a graceful arc. She moves faster than any human, as if the air is pushing her forward instead of dragging her down. Her gauntlet head clenches and a blue sphere glows. then disappears as she smashes her fist into the nearest bandit. He flies away from her and crashes against a tree before crumpling into a heap. I think that guy might actually be dead.
A mage knight?
Oh, you're in trouble now, bitch.
She must be with him.
Or she's after the bounty. Take her out too.
The mysterious man fires a hail of purple blasts at the bandits, catching one of them in the chest. Leanna deflects the sword from another bandit with her own blade. I can't just sit here and do nothing. I have to help. Ignoring Leanna's command, I unsheath my sword and charge into battle. First encounter. Ooh, cool. These are the mini-games they were talking about. When this first came out, there weren't any games. It was just the option of do well or do poorly. And I want to see what these mini-games look like. I had a chance to see them in early development just to kind of see what they were possibly doing, but I've not actually done them, so click the matching icon. Oh, please don't be timed. Oh, it is timed. Okay. That's a terrifying thing. Oh, God. Winner, winner, chicken dinner! Leanna breathes heavily as she surveys the bodies around her. She glances at me and the stranger, who's still standing.
Anyone hurt?
No. I do a gentle pat down on myself and wince at my bruises. Nothing major. Leanna nods. Then she fidgets with her manipulator. What up, dude? You've got a sprite and everything. The man stays silent as he inspects his guns. Now that I have a better look at him, I realize that although his fierce scowl makes him seem tough, he doesn't look that much older than me. His hair has a habit of falling around his eyes, but as he pushes it back, I notice a long scar cut across his eye. Once satisfied, he tucks his gun back into his belt and gets to his feet. He nods at us.
Thanks.
The universal man sign of, I'm good, thank you. Then he turns away.
Wait!
He pauses.
Where are you headed?
Why?
There might be more bandits around. We should team up if we're going in the same direction. Safety in numbers.
She's not wrong. He studies us in stony silence. Then his gaze flicks to her manipulator and he relaxes slightly.
Where are you going?
We're headed to Illumia.
This gauntlet and this mage knight business must be very serious.
Me too.
Leanna nods.
You're from the Mage Guild?
Yes, I'm Leanna.
I'm Sylar.
Zack.
Nice to meet you, Zack. And then the party became 3.
Boy.
4. Sorry, forgot the Pongo. All of us glance at the little blue Pongo who seemingly popped out of nowhere. Yeah, he does have a tendency to do that. And, this is our little friend.
I see.
I mean, he is kind of cute and adorable. The Pongo blinks at Zack, who stares him down. The Pongo bounces uncertainly.
Boy?
Just a little confused of, what? Zack's unblinking stare never wavers, so the Pongo scoots behind my leg for safety.
Now that introductions are over, let's get moving.
You got a good idea there. Zack waits for us to collect our things, and once we're all set, we head back onto the road. Leanna and I lead the way, the Pongo keeping pace with us while Zack hangs a few steps behind us. Ask about Zack's weapon, ask about Leanna's speed, ask how Zack knew she was in the Mage Guild. I have nothing to say. Well, let's see how he knew right away, because I'm sure it has to do with the little gauntlet on her left hand down here. So how did he know? How did Zack know you were in the Mage Guild?
He saw my emblem.
She lifts up her arm and points to the sigil on her manipulator. What exactly does the Mage Guild do?
We investigate any type of magical anomaly. The Mage Guild in Havengard is actually headquartered in Illumia.
Ah. Sort of like a police force? Leanna furrows her brow.
Police?
Like how detectives go out into the field to solve mysteries.
A little like that.
Hey, she got my reference, kind of. Now it makes sense as to why both the guard in Meadowhill Village and Zack relaxed after seeing Leanna's emblem. Let's ask about Zack's weapon then. So, what type of gun is Zack carrying?
You mean his discharger?
What? What's a discharger? I hear a sound behind us. Zack raises an eyebrow when I turn to look at him.
Did you hit your head or something?
A couple of 2-3 times, maybe. Why? Leanna looks a little uncomfortable.
He's not exactly from around here.
I'm new to town. Zack crosses his arms.
I see.
There's a pause. So, a discharger.
It's a weapon that uses crystal spheres to power it.
Ah, that makes more sense now. So it is a gun.
Maybe?
You have no idea what I'm talking about, but that's okay, you're pretty. The spheres are the bullets. Well, it's kind of the magazine in some sense because it's used to fire bullets. Or in this case, bolts of energy. Leanna looks uncertain. She doesn't know what a gun is. Dude, stop trying to explain it. Although it made sense in my head, I could see why she might be confused. Never mind. I got it. Thanks.
Sure.
She smiles. I feel Zack's gaze on me, but his expression is hard to read. It's probably him just kind of looking at me going, really, dude? You really have no idea what any of this is? You must be an idiot. Alright, let's ask about Leanna's speed then. Leanna, I saw you during the fight. How are you able to move so fast?
Oh, I cast wind magic to manipulate my movements.
That would make sense. Oh, so like putting on a speed buff.
They're small adjustments, like shifting the draft to move me forward, or using a breeze to help lift me during jumps.
So a buff. Damn, that sounds awesome. She grins.
The next time you're lagging behind, I'll use my wind to give you a little boost.
You're gonna run out of energy real quick. That would be amazing. I can already imagine myself running like the wind. Leanna seems pleased by my reaction. Well, looks like that guard was telling the truth. There definitely are bandits on this road.
Yeah.
There's something in her voice which makes me think she doesn't completely agree. What is it?
It's just, well, for bandits, they were pretty well equipped.
She stares hard at Zack, but he doesn't react. What does that mean? Are they not bandits? Leanna continues to look at Zack.
I'm not sure.
They were bandits.
Okay, so now you speak up? She looks sharply at Zack, obviously caught off guard.
Sure.
That didn't sound too convincing. The subject drops, but I still feel a little uneasy. If those guys weren't bandits, then who were they? And why were they attacking Zack? Lots of questions. Lots need to be answered. The questions circle in my mind as the conversation lulls into silence. Leanna leads the way, though she seems to have something on her mind. Zack trails from behind. He remains on heightened alert. Well, I can see where there's a lot on Leanna's mind. She just stumbled upon some guy who just fell from the sky and is not from this world. Then this weird-looking dude who we don't know anything about was attacked by 5 mercenaries who were very well equipped. Or not mercenaries, bandits. We traveled together for quite some time with no further interruptions. I could feel my legs start to burn from all the walking. Leanna, that wind magic, please. Leanna squints at the sky.
We should make camp before it gets dark.
That makes sense. Zack nods.
There's a good spot up ahead which hides us from view. It'll still give us visibility on any intruders, though.
How far away are you that you must be yelling at us? Sounds good. Zack leads the way, and soon we reach the clearing. The 3 of us get to work setting up camp. I roll up my bedroll near the campfire and notice how thinly it spreads on the ground. Can this thing really be comfortable? Well, depending on how tired you are, yes. I guess there's only one way to find out. I lie down on the bedroll and place my hands behind my head. This isn't as bad as I thought. A yawn escapes my lips. I could definitely fall asleep here. My gaze lingers on the night sky above. The moon hangs in the inky sky, dotted with so many pinpricks of silver light. They sparkle vividly, as if trying to chase away the dark. I breathe out a breath in wonder. I never knew the stars could shine so brightly. I try to pick out a few constellations, but the star patterns above are unfamiliar.
What are you looking at?
You now. I quickly sit up at the sound of Leanna's voice. She's holding 2 steaming bowls in her hand. I accept one of the bowls with a smile as she sits beside me. Just admiring the sky. This place is really beautiful. Back where I live, you don't get to see too many stars.
How come?
Light pollution. Our cities are filled with so much light that it drowns out the stars. Leanna gazes thoughtfully at the sky.
Right. It's a little harder to see the stars in town than it is out here.
I shake my head. That's not the same. Some nights, I don't see the stars at all. Her eyes widen in surprise. Then she places her chin in her hands.
A night sky without stars.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing. She looks at me.
What's your world like?
It has really cool tech. It's bad. Humans are a plague to the planet. Different, but more or less the same. Well, to be honest, from what we've seen so far of Terra, it's different, but more or less the same. You know, lights are not powered by crystals, they're powered by electricity instead. So, you know what? We could probably go with this one. It's kind of like here, but kind of different. She stares at me, waiting for me to elaborate. Go on. We don't use crystals or have magic, and we definitely don't have pongos. I mean, except for that one. He's the only one. And a couple others. I glance at the pongo snoozing beside me. Leanna smiles at his soft snores. But we do have forests and towns. We speak languages and have our own versions of academies and shops and guilds. We also have weapons and martial arts.
Like Kendo.
Yep, like Kendo.
That sounds like it'd be an interesting place to visit. I wonder what it's like to live in a world with no crystals.
She tilts her head back and returns her gaze to the sky. Underneath the moonlight, her pale skin seems to glow amidst the darkness. Her face softens as she smiles.
You're right. The stars really are beautiful.
We fall into a comfortable silence as we enjoy the tranquility of the night. After we've finished eating and cleaning up, Zack approaches us.
It's getting late.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Leanna nods.
I'll take first watch so you can rest.
All right. I'll take second watch.
I guess that leaves me with a third. Zack stares unblinkingly at me, while Leanna coughs nervously. Why are you two looking at me like that? What did I do?
That's okay. We had an early start, and I'm sure you're tired. We should rest up and sleep through the night.
That's why I'm getting the third watch. She's right, I'll do that. Whatever. Do you guys not trust me? I mean, clearly they don't trust me, otherwise they wouldn't have suggested that. Whatever's just kind of dismissing it. It hurts the pride, but at the same point in time, she knows I'm not from around here and I'm not used to something like this, especially after our last conversation. Zack has no idea who I am, so I guess I should probably just agree with her. She's right. I'll do that. All right. Thanks. Guess I have to prove my worth around here in order to keep watch. She smiles warmly.
Good night, then.
Good night. Zack nods. Then Leanna crawls into her bedroll. As she lies down, Zack positions himself against a tree and takes a seat. Go to bed, get to know Zack. You know what? we might as well at least try. If we're going to be traveling together, I should make an effort to get to know what kind of person he is. I walk over to Zack. Hey. Mind if I sit? He gestures for me to join him, so I do so. And then we sit here, in awkward silence. Obviously, I'll have to lead the conversation. So, how's the weather? Great start. Zack stares at me. Alright, let's switch gears. Are you a cat or a dog person?
Is this going anywhere?
Not that I know of. I sigh. I'm trying to build up some trust here, but you gotta meet me halfway. Zack looks away. Great. I guess he doesn't want to talk.
Dog.
No surprise there. What?
I prefer canines.
Oh, cool. Kind of a dog person myself. The silence creeps in again. So, we're all going to Illumia.
Yep.
What brings you there?
I'm meeting someone.
Oh, a friend?
Someone from work.
What do you do?
I'm a mercenary.
Straight and to the point. Mercenary? That's badass. This explains so much. Ah, acceptable murder. I mean, that is kind of badass to be a mercenary. Seriously? That's so cool. Zack shifts uncomfortably. His stony facade cracks and reveals his surprise. Yes, we got him a break.
Okay. So, why are you going to Illumia?
I guess he just wants to dismiss that anyways. Leanna's taking me to the Mage Academy. He studies me again.
Are you a mage? You don't have a manipulator.
I shake my head. No, I'm looking for answers. He nods in understanding and doesn't pry. Although I try to stop it, a yawn escapes.
You should get some sleep. We have an early start in the morning.
Fine, sorry for wanting to get to know you, man. That sounds familiar. I push myself to standing. Good night. He nods. I lie down in my bedroll and scooch around to get comfortable. I try closing my eyes to sleep, but something still doesn't feel right. Oh yeah! I need a pillow. Sitting up, I look around for anything I can use. My gaze falls on the Pongo, who now rests beside Leanna. Pongo pillow! I'll just make do. Nah, we're not going to use him as a pillow. I'll just make do. The little Pongo rolls over in his sleep. I don't want to disturb him. Plus, that would be pretty rude, and we like the Pongo. He's cute and adorable. I don't find anything else suitable and decide just to make do without one. Lying back down on the bed, I close my eyes and eventually drift to sleep. End of the day. A dull throbbing in my back pulls me awake. I hadn't fully appreciated the magic of mattresses until now. A yawn escapes and I stretch widely. Aside from the achiness, I actually feel well rested. I sit up and glance around. Zack leans against a tree with his head down. His hair covers his eyes, so I can't tell if they're open or closed. Regardless, his hands rest on the handles of his dischargers. Creepy. Looking around again, I fail to spot Leanna. Where did she go? I think I hear a cry in the distance. Is that her? I should go investigate. Crossing over a hill, I see Leanna practicing in an open field. She grips her blade in a fighting stance, her face stern with concentration. She swings her blade in a high arc, ending with a graceful spin. Judging by how fluid and accurate her movement is, it's clear she's dedicated many years to perfecting her craft. I mean, how else would she become a mage knight? That seems like something that needs to be done because, knight's in the title. Her hair whips around her as she turns, but never seems to blow in her face. Even with heavy armor, her movements are still nimble, as if she's wearing no armor at all. I wonder if all of that has to do with her wind magic. Probably. Once she notices me, she lowers her sword.
Oh, sorry. Did I wake you? I moved out here so I wouldn't disturb you.
No, I was up anyways. No, I was already up. I didn't see you at camp, so I came looking.
Gotcha.
He's awake too? Glancing down at my feet, I spot the beaming Pongo. Leanna giggles.
Looks like you guys are best friends already.
The bestest friends? Of course. More like stalker. Of course we're best friends. The best of friends? Isn't that right?
Poi poi.
The Pongo nods excitedly.
Poi poi.
He gets it. It's pretty early. Do you always begin your mornings with a warm-up? Leanna nods.
It helps me wake up and prepare for the day ahead.
Makes sense to me.
Also, it's become a part of my routine, so it just doesn't feel right when I don't do it.
I know what you mean. I can't really go through my morning routine from Earth here on Terra, and it feels a bit strange.
Right.
Leanna looks down. The awkwardness creeps into the silence. She probably took that in a negative way, which wasn't my intention. That's okay, though. I can always make a new routine.
New routine?
I unsheath my blade and grip it. This morning practice you do seems like a good place to start. She grins.
Considering how well you handled yourself yesterday, I'm curious to see what's the extent of your skill set.
I mean, you saw, I did pretty damn good at those mini-games. My matching of the icons was flawless. No one's done it better. I smirk. Only one way to find out. So what's the lesson today, Senpai?
Sand pie?
My inner weeb just showed. I shake my head. Never mind. She blinks, then refocuses and matches my fighting stance by raising her sword.
Since you already have some experience with the blade, sparring will be the best way to gauge your skills.
I'm ready. I don't want to end up hurting you. Let's do this then. You know what? I'm ready. I was born ready. I tighten the grip around my blade. Ready when you are.
Here I come!
This is going to end poorly. Leanna dashes towards me. Her movements seem slower than what they were during the bandit fight. It seems like she isn't using her wind magic. Probably for the best. Heart of the sword. Click the icons as fast as you can. Oh god, another timed minigame. Well, time to show off my skills. Oh. It's just simply that. Oh god. I win. I missed a couple icons, though. I was not expecting that. That was cool, though. That was a lot of fun. Somehow, I managed to keep pace with her. Every time I think I'm about to get the upper hand, her intensity increases until we're equally matched again. Even so, I can feel her holding back. Without using magic, Mage Knights are still a formidable opponent with the sword, especially if they're anything like Leanna. Again, back to the subject from earlier. Mage Knight. A wizard who is also a knight. Of course, they're good with a sword. We go back and forth with a few more swings until Leanna strikes from above. I hurriedly block with my sword, but lose my balance in my hurry and topple to the ground, landing on my back. It already hurts. Why? Oof. Leanna kneels down beside me.
Your fundamentals are solid. If you keep practicing, I'm sure you'll be a formidable warrior in no time.
Just as good as you? That's pretty high praise when it's coming from you. She smiles and blushes. More waifu points. Leanna extends a hand and helps me back onto my feet.
It would be better if I could watch you spar with someone else. That way, I can see your movement from different angles and give you better feedback.
Unless the Pongo can use a sword, the only other option is Zack. I look around and spot Zack leaning against a tree closer to our sparring location. He watches us with his arms crossed. Wait, how long has he been here? Probably long enough to see everything. Leanna rushes over to him.
Zack!
Hmm?
Would Would you be willing to duel with him?
I'm sure he's more than ready to fight. She points to me. No, who else is she going to point to? The Pongo?
I'd like to get a better look at his technique.
He merely stares at her.
Oh, right. You need a blade.
Leanna hands her blade to Zack. He takes it from her and inspects it.
What are the rules of the duel?
Standard spar. Be the first one to knock your opponent to the ground.
Zack nods and heads towards the field. As Leanna returns to me, we share a glance. That was surprisingly easy. This has me a little worried. I guess it's not in a mercenary's nature to back down from a fight, even if it's a fake one.
Are you two ready?
I'm not entirely sure just yet, but yes. I step a decent distance away from Zack and I ready my blade. Yep. Zack continues to stand there. I look at Leanna again and she just shrugs. I'm probably just like, what is he doing? I don't know. He nods.
Okay, begin.
I rush forward. I think he shot me. And suddenly I'm on the ground, staring up at the sky with an aching pain in my chest and the wind knocked out of me. I groan.
Strange. I thought he'd last at least 2 shots.
You're an asshole.
Zack!
What?
Why did you use your discharger?
You didn't tell him he couldn't, to be fair.
Why not?
Leanna steps forward.
The whole point was to have a sword match with him.
You didn't list that as a rule.
Her frustration is evident in her voice.
Why else would I give you my sword?
You mean the one that's still on your hilt? I'm just kidding.
Why did you give me your sword?
For you to use!
She snatches her blade back from Zack and heads over to me.
Are you hurt?
Just the pride? I don't think so. My pride? This sounds too good to pass up. My pride. So this is what it feels like to be emasculated. Twice. My gaze drifts past Leanna to the blue sky behind her. At least the view is nice. Leanna helps me up again.
The one and only lesson you need to know when fighting. Do whatever it takes to win.
Not no. In a real fight, absolutely. You do what you do to win. Especially if it's a fight to the death. As soon as he's done speaking, Zack turns around and heads back to the campsite. Leanna huffs.
Mercenaries can be so annoying sometimes.
I can see where you can think that. Agreed. He's probably seen some heavy stuff. His advice is relevant. I mean, I'm going to take the route and just agree with the waifu here. Just because that is a bit annoying. We said it was going to just be a spar, and he just took that as, I'm just going to win. So, agreed. I won't argue with that. We pack up our things and clean up the campsite. Then we continue our journey. As we walk, we slipped into comfortable silence. Zack lingers behind Leanna, and I while the Pongo returns to his usual spot on my head. After a few hours, it doesn't feel like we're getting any closer. So, how long until we reach Illumia?
We'll need to stop at Raven Pass to restock and spend the night. But if we continue to make good time, we'll reach Illumia by midday tomorrow.
Oh, that's not too bad. One more day of walking. If only I'd brought my BitFit, I would have my daily steps done for a lifetime. Or at least have my Pokemon Go or something. Think of all the Pokemon I could catch, all the eggs that I could hatch. It'd be great. I nod and we fall back into silence. By mid-afternoon, we arrive at the gates of a settlement even smaller than Meadowhill Village. Oh, this is a cute little town. It looks like we've got a grocery store here on the right. It's got a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables to it. Even here on the left as well. Wow, this is a cute little town, just kind of taking it all in. The town consists of an inn and a few shops. The bare essentials. They probably only ever see travelers like us. People passing through on their way to Illumia.
Okay, we should stock up on supplies.
I'll be making a stop at the weaponsmith.
Zack pats the two holstered discharges by his side. Now that I think about it, I only saw him use one during the bandit ambush. The other one must have already been damaged.
I'll check out the shop since my weapons are okay on repairs.
I'll go with you. Leanna smiles. Zack nods.
See you soon then.
He turns down another path.
Let's go.
Agreed, and we're going to check out Raven's Pass next time. I'm going to end the episode here. A lot of fun. Finally got to see the minigames. That's really exciting. They're a lot of fun. That second one, wasn't expecting it to show up like that. I thought it was going to do something like the first one where it was always to just click the matching ones, not just have to click all of them in a row. But that was a lot of fun and really cool. I hope you guys enjoyed them then as well. But as always, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to let me know by hitting the like button down below or leaving a comment. It really does help me out. I do try to respond to all the comments as quickly and as soon as I can. But as always, if you have not done so, make sure to unleash your power by hitting the subscribe button down below today and as well. And I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.